Welcome to the call tonight, guys. I want to thank you for coming. This is my weekly Here For You webinar, and if you've been to these before, you know that these are mostly just for you. I don't do any kind of promos. I did do one last week, but that's a rare thing that I do a promo, but these are all just for you. I usually do some sort of a demo, and then I go over questions that I got in emails, and then I take your guys' questions live and try to answer as many of them as I can here on the spot if at all possible. Now, tonight is a little differently. I don't have a demo for you tonight, and the reason being is because I got a flood of questions in email last week. So this is mostly going to be a question answer session. I'm going to go over the questions I got in emails, then I'm going to take your guys' questions. So with that said, let's go ahead and I'll load up the question presentation that I did so I'd make sure I'd get them all. Turn that off for a second. Here we go. Okay, turn the chat back on so you guys can see me. Turn that off. Okay, you guys should be seeing the little presentation there in the center of the screen now. Like I said, I don't have a demo for you guys tonight. It's all questions because I got a slew of questions after last week's webinar. And of course, I got one really big question I'm going to answer here at the very beginning. This was based on the training that I gave you guys showing you how to create a product of your own that you could sell as a WSO, or basically anywhere. It wouldn't have to be a WSO. But I got quite a few questions on it, and one of the biggest questions I got was, can you give me an example of a package of articles people are selling? So I went back through emails that I'd gotten, and I'm on several people's list that do these type of sales and products. So I wanted to give you guys an example of one of what people are actually doing with this business model. Okay, now here's one that I think is a really good package, and it's one that I know everybody in this room can do if you follow along with the training I gave you on this. And if you need it, I'll post the link back to that training again under the replay for this, so you can watch it again if you need to watch it again. But in this package, they're offering a niche report, which is basically it's a video where they talk about the demographics and audience targeting, and they give a list of 100 niche keywords, 6 400-word articles, and then they give this spin version of those articles, and then a press release, and then a spin version of the press release, and then a list of recommended products that you could sell as an affiliate from ClickBank, JVZoo, Warriors Plus, and RapBank, and places like that, places where you can earn affiliate commissions. Now, they charge $27 a month for this package. They originally started as a WSO and just sold individual packages, would sell, like I told you in the training that I've done, they would limit it to 25 or 50, but then they started a monthly thing out of it, and they limited it to 25 people to the niche that they call a niche pack here, and they only limited it to 25, and it stays sold out. You're on a waiting list to get into this niche package here that this guy sells every month. Now, just to give you an idea of the kind of money they're making with this. Okay, my tabs got a little bit off, but I think we can still read this. If you use the prices that I told you in the training, if you paid the full amount, for the elite authors, the 6 articles would cost you $66, which is $11 each. You can get a press release written over on Fiverr for anywhere from $5 to $15, depending on how urgently you're needing it. 100 keyword niche list, you can get that done over on Fiverr for about $5. A niche video report, where if you were to take the demographics and write it all up into a little 100, 200 word report, get somebody over on Fiverr to record that video for you, cost you $5 to $10. Of course, I gave you software to spin articles. You could also use that software to spin the press release, so that wouldn't be any cost to you at all. and of course generating a list of recommended products that they could sell wouldn't cost you anything. So if you paid the full amount for getting all this done, you'd only have $96 invested in it. That's all it would cost you to get all it done if you didn't do any of the work yourself except for spinning the articles and generating that list of recommended affiliate products. You'd have $96 invested in it. And if you sold them for $27 and only sold 25 copies, that's $675 revenue you'd make. You take the $96 you've invested into it, and it's a $579 profit. That's what they're making off of that one package every month. And like I said, you got to get on a waiting list to get into that package. You could do 3 or 4 of these. It wouldn't, you could do one of these a week easily. You could have 4 different subscription lists, and you could do one of these each week. And you could see, multiply that 579 by 4 times, and you can see what you could make from this. And you're doing hardly any of the work. I mean, it don't take any time to use that software to spin those articles and spin that press release. And it wouldn't take you, 30 minutes to generate a list of recommended affiliate products. So, that's the biggest question I got about that training was, some sort of a package that you could offer. And, of course, in that training, I also, said you could go the extra mile and, pay to get, a mini site done. You could get a mini site done over on the Warrior for Hire section for anywhere from $30 to $60 on average, somewhere in that range. And there's also software that you could buy that you could generate that yourself if you just have a list, some graphics of some headers that you could use yourself. You could even generate those yourself, and you wouldn't have to spend any money on that. But anyway, that's the biggest question I got. I wanted to give you guys a good example of that. So, just from this right here, that should show you this is, a very viable business model that you could do over on the Warrior Forum. Anybody could do this. Like I said, all you got to do is just find a good niche, that you can write some articles about, and you could either write them yourself and not have to spend the money, or you could do like I said and go over to iWriter and pay the elite writers to write these for you, so that you're getting good quality articles, and you could turn that into a good little monthly revenue for yourself. The video report K is where they talk about doing the demographics, what type of target audience that it would be. I think it was on the previous slide. Let's go back to it. Yeah, it talks about the demographics and the audience target. Basically, you just go to Alexa and Quantcast and just type in some domain names for that like the top 5 or 10 websites in that niche, whatever it is, and you get demographics from Alexa and Quantcast, and just write that up into like a 100, 200 word report. Wouldn't take long to write that up at all, what kind of demographics it would take. And like I said, you could send that off to somebody over on Fiverr and get a video made for $5 to $10, somewhere in that range. I think you can get a video done over on Fiverr for, I think it's 150 words for like $5 is what most people charges. And you could get, expedited for, another $5 or $10, depending on the person that you're getting to do it. And there's several people over to do good professional quality videos. Cairo says, I have a question about JVZoo product creation. What is the traffic like on average on the platform if we have a product up with no marketing? Well, there's constant traffic to the JVZoo marketplace, and depending on when you're setting up the listing, the targeted keywords you list when you're inserting the keywords into your product listing, because people will go to the marketplace and do a search for keywords, and it'll pull up an average, I think it's 12 listings to a page, maybe 8. I can't remember if it's 8 or 12 listings to a page, but they get quite a bit of traffic, and those listings do get indexed by the search engines. Generally, with the products that I list over there, usually within 24 hours, I've got 5 to 10 people requesting to be an affiliate for the products. And they're not all good affiliates, but some of them are decent affiliates that actually have a list that they're or a active website. Yeah, even with no asking, I mean, like I said, the ClickBank marketplace used to be where people would go to find niche products, but now JVZoo's becoming the leader because of the instant payouts. People like to go to RapBank and Warriors Plus and JVZoo to search for products to advertise to their niche list because they know that if they've made enough sales and they've got a good reputation, they're going to get instant commissions. Whereas with ClickBank, you're waiting 2 weeks to a month to get your affiliate commission. So most people would rather go with JVZoo or Warriors Plus or RapBank, and even DigiResults. But DigiResults I've found is a lot harder for affiliates to find products to promote. Their interface is not as easy to use as the other three. Okay, says so no ebook or report. It's mainly just the articles, reports and keywords. Now there's no actual report at all to this package at all. Okay, it's mostly 6 articles and a press release, and really the press release is just another article, just it's worded differently. There's actually templates that you can get. Actually, I've seen somebody promoting one not long ago that's actually a template pack for writing press releases. But it's just an article too, but they do want press releases to be at least 500 words in most cases. But yeah, there's no actual report written out of it. That's what I was telling you in the training. You could take those articles and you could actually combine them into an ebook and offer it as an ebook along with the individual articles as well. There are several different ways you can add extra value to a package like that. The other thing I told you could do was turn those articles into video articles. That's another way of adding extra value to the package. Dana wants to know, what do you think of EasySketch Pro product that just launched today? Dana, I haven't got to try it yet. I do have a copy of it, but I haven't got to try it yet. So it looks great, and they say it works with the VideoMaker FX, so I'm hoping that it does as they claim. But it looks like a great package, so I'm anxious to get it out and try it. But to actually tell you how well it does, I couldn't because I haven't got to try it yet. But it does look good. Okay, let's move on to the next set of questions here. Like I said, I got a whole lot of questions this past week, and most of them were about the new class that I'm starting on June the 11th. The first one I got a lot of was, when is the cutoff date for the discount? Because I originally had that set for June the 1st was going to be the cutoff on it, but I realized that was too quick for most people, so I extended that through Saturday midnight, June the 7th. So actually Sunday morning it will switch over to the increased price range for that, and then on the launch day it'll go to the full price. So it's been moved up until Saturday at midnight, June the 7th. Then the next question I got a lot of was, what autoresponders will the class work with? And there are actually several. Aweber and GetResponse, of course, those are the two that most all email marketing lists and methods work with. eBizac is another one. Listwire will work with. That's the one I gave a training on 3 or 4 weeks ago, showing you how to build a list with Listwire. That's a free autoresponder. And then another one is direct responders. I don't know much about direct responders. I've heard of them, but I don't know anything about them. I wouldn't recommend using Listwire because it is double opt-in, and when you're trying to build a massive list fast like that, you want to enable the single opt-in. So I wouldn't recommend Listwire because of that. But those are the ones that it works with. I had several people ask me if it'll work with MailChimp. It won't work with MailChimp directly. It could work with MailChimp, but the problem with MailChimp is you'll find that MailChimp is not very tolerant when it comes to marketing through email. If they get too many complaints, they'll suspend your account the first time, but then if they get more complaints, they'll just delete your account. They'll ban it altogether. So I wouldn't recommend MailChimp at all, even though they do offer a full account for free that's up to, I think, 100 or 500 subscribers. I can't remember which. But like I said, they're hard to get along with when it comes to marketing through emails. If they get any complaints at all, you're on their hot list right off the bat. Kathy says, I have a list of products stored in all my products that I've received over time. Can I use them to create a new product if there are no POR or MRR licenses included? Well, and actually I ran into this last week. I bought a product that, well, maybe it wasn't last week, might have been the week before, that I bought a product that didn't come with a license file in it, but they said on the sales page what you could do with it. So you may want to refer back to the sales page if you can go back to that and see if it mentions anything about the rights to the products, what you can do with them. It's kind of hard to say. And then another um, idea I can give you is if you're seeing those products anywhere else on any of the other PLR or Master Resale Right membership sites, if they have them listed there in their membership sites, that's a good indication that you could package them up together or rework them. But when they don't come with a license file, it does make it kind of hard to uh, figure out what you can and can't do with it. But if you can go back to the original sales page, maybe that'll give you some hints. Or if you can see it for sale or included in any other PLR or MRR website, that'll give you a good idea what you can do with it. Roy wants to know, could you elaborate a little bit more on the $35 refund? Um, yeah, and Kathy, Roy gave a good idea there. You could try to contact the original product creator and find out what the rights are. It's like I said, it's really hard to decide and know what you can do if they don't include a rights file. And like I said, I bought one last week or week before that exact same thing. They didn't mention anything about the rights other than said you couldn't pass on PLR rights. That's the only thing they said. But other than that, it was kind of open-ended. But anyway, going back to Roy's original question on the $35 refund, one of the accounts we'll be using is a third-party account to help build the 1,000 subscriber list, and they do have a $35 account setup fee. And what I'm going to do with that is, I can't pay it for you because I only have one account with them. So what I have to have you do is pay that $35 fee, and then I'm going to rebate your $35 fee back to you. I wish I could pay it for you, but the system is not set up for me to be able to do it that way. So initially you'll have to pay it, but then I'll pay it. I'll turn around and rebate it right back to you. So it won't be anything out of your pocket to get the account set up. Kyrie says, about how long do you take without outsourcing to put together either a product from scratch or resale rights? Well, it just depends on the type of product, how long it would take for me to put it together. I've got some that I've done in less than a day, and I've got some that I've been working on for 3 or 4 months and still not finished with them. I've got one software product that I'm working on now. I've been working on since December. So it just depends on the actual product that I'm working on, how long it will actually take. But what we were talking about earlier with the article packs, that's something you could easily do in a week, even if you outsourced every bit of it. If you wanted to do all of the work yourself, it just depend on your writing skills, how long it would take you to write 7 articles. Well, it's actually 6 articles, but it just depends on how long it would take you to actually write those articles. You should be able to, after you've wrote articles enough, be able to write one in 20, 30 minutes easily. So, it wouldn't take, a day or two for you to actually create the pack together, but then putting it together and getting it on the Warrior Forum, listing it for sale might take a day or two to get all that put together. So, probably 3 to 4 days at the most. Dana asks, on JVZoo, do you have to use your own original products, or can you sell Master Resale Rights products and PLR products on JVZoo? Yeah, you can list anything that you have rights to sell over on JVZoo. You don't have to have exclusive rights to it. It's not like the Warrior Forum in the WSO section where it has to be a unique product. It's all your own that you created. JVZoo is just another marketplace, and Warriors Plus is just opened up to where they will accept products now like JVZoo does. So, and they'll even host the delivery. They don't host the sales page like JVZoo does, but I hear that's coming with them as well, that they're going to add that feature too. So once they add that, they'll be almost exactly like JVZoo is. Okay, going on with the rest of the questions that I got for the new class. The next one I got was, what email marketing models will you cover? And there's actually 4 main ones I'm going to cover, and there's probably a couple of others I'll add in. The daily promo method, and then the weekly promo method, and the 2-day lead up, and then the launch promo method. Those are the 4 main ones that will be covered in the class. And like I said, I've got a couple of others that I'll probably throw in as well. So it could be up to 6 different models in the class. Mike's asking, will the list building be the very first class, and how long will it take to acquire a list? Actually, Mike, it's one of the questions we have here. With 1,000, the next question is, with 1,000 subscribers, how much could we earn per month? And really, there's no real clear-cut example I could give you on how much with 1,000 subscribers you could earn per month. It would really depend on which of the business models you decide to follow, and how engaging you work with your list, and then the type of products that you're going to promo. Now, like I said in the original talking about the class, I'm going to give you products to put into your sales funnel. Of course, now I'm not saying that you have to use those products. You can use any that you want, and I'm going to recommend a certain way for you to introduce those products to your list. And of course, you can do that any way you want. But if you follow the method that I give you for putting those products up online and ready for sale, and then adding them into your autoresponder sequence, you should, within 30 days, you should be able to average anywhere from $1 to $10 per subscriber each for the first 30 days they join your list. So, like I said, I can't guarantee that that's going to happen, but depending on how you treat your list, if you pound them every day with 3 or 4 emails, they're going to drop off real quick and not stay on your list very long. But if you treat your list right, and you give them information as well as try to promote to them, they'll stay on your list a lot longer, and they'll open your emails more and click your links. But you should be able to average. My sales funnel, I've got it set to, it averages $10 to $20 per subscriber per month. So that just gives you some sort of an idea. And like I said, it mostly depends on which marketing model you decide to follow. And you're always asking, are these products going to be in the list building niche? The products are going to be a wide variety of topics, and they're all going to be online marketing, internet marketing related products, but they're going to be a wide variety of topics. They could be about Facebook, could be about Twitter, they could be about list building, it could be about article marketing, blogging, anything. There's quite a wide range of topics it'll cover. Kay says, isn't a list mainly targeting to internet marketing? No, a list doesn't have to be just about internet marketing. A list could be about anything. It could be about weight loss, it could be about self-help, it could be about model car racing, could be about anything. And people build lists in all different types of subjects and niches. Deb says, how do you calculate the per month per subscriber value? It takes a while for you to get that average down. How I do it is I take the amount of sales that I make each month and the amount of new subscribers that I add to my list, and I divide it out like that. So if I'm adding 100 new subscribers and I'm averaging $3,000 in new sales, well, then that's $30 per subscriber that I'm averaging. Now, that's not saying that each one of those 100 new subscribers spent $30. It could be that 10 of them spent $300, or it could be that 25 of them spent $6 each, or it's not one set amount, you're going to get that much from each one, but that's generally how most people averages by the amount of new subscribers they get and then the amount of new revenue that you get per month. After a while, you'll have a pretty much a regular set of revenue that you get from email marketing that you got an average of what you're getting, and then as you're adding new subscribers, you'll see that increase or decrease, so you know what the average is. Kathy says, well, I'll be able to apply your teaching to a membership site. Kathy, one of the things we're going to be talking about in the list building class is a membership site. So yes, you definitely will be able to. Okay, let's go to the next slide. The next one I got quite a bit of is how soon will we earn money? And again, it's hard to say. There's no set exact amount of time, and I can tell you should be making money, but it should be within 1 week, but no longer than a month. You should start seeing some income from the list that you'll be building. Once you get to the 1,000 subscriber limit, once you get up to that mark, you should see a constant flow of money coming in. Especially like right after you send out a promo email, you'll see money coming in right after that, and it should last for a burst of 2 or 3 days, because it usually takes people about 2 or 3 days on average to read your email. So when you send out a promo, you can expect a fluctuation of income for 2 or 3 days after that email has went out. Roy says, are we going to do a solo ad in the first week? Probably not the first week. The first week is all going to be getting things set up. So the first week will be a lot of grunt work, getting things set up to where we'll be ready to start with start getting subscribers into our list. There's several things got to be done that first week. So it's possible that we might start doing some solo ads and some ad swaps that first week, but it's not likely. The first week will be a lot of grunt work getting things set up. What membership site software are you using or recommending? I don't recommend any particular one. It just depends on your needs of what you're wanting to do with it. You could be wanting to do just fixed term memberships where you give them all of the info right up front, or you could be wanting to do drip feed memberships where you give them the information in scheduled increments. Could be you're wanting to work with a specific vendor as far as like with ClickBank or JVZoo or Warriors Plus, and it depends on which one you want to use. But I do have ones that I recommend for depending on the scenario you're wanting to use. But myself, the one I use the most is Instamember, is the one I use the most. Now I have my own software that creates these little instant membership sites. We could use that as well, but it doesn't have all the features of a real membership site. But when I go to set up a real membership site, I use Instamember is what I use. Billy's asking, don't know if this was already asked, but will the class cover how to keep building your list size? Yes, it will, Willie. That's one of the things we're going to talk about, is to continue on, because you don't want to stop once you get started, because you're going to have people unsubscribe. You got to keep replenishing that list and replacing those people that unsubscribe. And plus, you want to grow the list. You don't want to stay at 1,000. You want to try to get it bigger than that. So yes, that will be a big part of it, trying to keep the momentum going. Mike's want to know, what is the average number of hours you put in once you get it all figured out as far as getting a good business? I guess you're asking how many hours a day or a week do I work? Is that what you're asking, Mike, as far as the online marketing part? Okay. Well, it depends on if I've got products that I'm getting ready to release, or if I'm just doing average internet marketing, email marketing. If I'm not doing a product release, I may work hour and a half a day. But if I am doing a product release, I'll work on the product, getting it ready to go, working on the sales page and that kind of thing. And I could work, 3 to 4 hours a day till that product launches. Um, on the average, though, during the week, I try not to do anything on weekends if I can avoid it. I have had to do some things on the weekends and send out some emails on the weekend. I try not to do that if I can avoid it. Of course, some people want to email every single day. I'm not one that wants to email every day. I try to avoid weekends if I can. But on the average, I spend anywhere from 5 to 10 hours a week as far as running my online business, somewhere in that range. Now, like I said, when I'm working on creating a product, that throws more hours into the schedule. But you guys may not be creating products in this class. I encourage you to do that if you can. If you have the skill set to create products, you're going to make a lot more money. And we'll talk about that in the list building class as well, how you can make more money with your own products. But it just depends on what you have going on that week. If you're just going to do just general email marketing, and in a lot of cases, once you get it set up, it's just pretty much autopilot. All you're doing is just maintaining your advertising campaigns to keep your list replenished. And that could be something you just work on 3 to 5 hours a week. And it could be something you just work on 1 or 2 hours a week, depending on how fast you're wanting to grow your list. But my average is, like I said, is anywhere from 5 to 10 hours a week on the average, unless I'm doing a product launch for getting a new product ready to go out. Deb says, do you have training for InstaMember? InstaMember comes with its own training, Deb, and to be honest, I'm not sure that InstaMember is still for sale. They released a new version where they included InstaMember into a WordPress theme, so I'm not sure that InstaMember is available for sale as a standalone plugin like it was before. I think now you have to actually buy the theme to get InstaMember, but it comes with training itself on how to use it. Howard says, I have InstaMember, but I've been using MemberSonic a bit more pricey. MemberSonic is another great plugin to use. Yes, I know a lot of people use MemberSonic. Wishlist is another good one that a lot of people use, and then DAP is another good one. Kay's asking, how does Aweber charge? Is it so many people per list, or how often you mail out? They charge you by the amount of subscribers you have in all your list. It's $19 for up to 500 subscribers, and once you cross 500, it goes to $29 until you get to 2,500 subscribers, and then it goes to $49 after 2,500 subscribers. And I forget what the next cutoff is. I think the next cutoff is 5,000, I think, where the price increases. But it's the amount of subscribers you have together on all your lists. They don't charge by the emails you send out. Roy says, spend 30 to 40 hours a week working online. That's a lot of hours, Roy. I hope you're really successful at putting that many hours that you're getting, a return on your time, Roy. Okay, well, that's understandable too. So, not saying everybody has the skill sets that I do. I can do a WordPress site in 20 minutes, and it might take somebody else a whole day or 2 days to do a WordPress site, but I can do one in an average of about 20 minutes, no more than an hour. I can have a WordPress site up and ready to go. Okay, and back to our questions again. This was asked earlier in the chat. Can this be scaled up? And certainly it can be scaled up, and it's encouraged to scale up because you want to keep replenishing your list, and you want to keep building your list. The more people you have on your list, the more, and once you've got your average of what you're getting per new subscriber per month, of course that increases that revenue you're going to get per month. The next one was, how long will it take to get 1,000 subscribers? It should take between 1 and 3 months is the average. I've not seen it go past 3 months to get 1,000 subscribers, and I've not seen it take less than a month. I mean, it's possible to do it in less than a month, but it's unlikely. It should take, like I said, somewhere. It's going to probably take most of the summer to get their 1,000 subscribers, and it may run a week or two after that for some people, depending on how fast you progress in the class. Mike, I have weeks like that too, where it seems like I get nothing done. Saturday, like I said, I try not to have to work on Saturdays if I can avoid it. But Saturday, I had to work on an offline client's website, and I spent all day long working on that website and didn't get hardly anything done to it. And sent him a link to what I'd worked on, and I got to go back and basically rework everything I did. So yeah, I have those weeks too where it seems like I don't get anything done. Willie says, which autoresponder do you recommend? Willie, I recommend either Aweber or GetResponse, and the reason being I recommend those two is because when you're buying plugins and programs, it seems like every one of them support Aweber or GetResponse right off the bat, whereas it's hard to find support for some of the others like eBizac or Constant Contact or any of the others. But Aweber and GetResponse, they're supported by just about everything, so I recommend either one of the two. GetResponse is a little bit cheaper than Aweber. I think it's $15 for your first 1,000 subscribers with them, and then it goes up from there, whereas Aweber is $19 for your first 500 subscribers. But I recommend either one of the two. I love Aweber. I mean, I'm just so used to using Aweber. I've used it for the last 10 years, so I'm so used to their interface. I can get around and GetResponse and do well with it, but I'm not as used to their interface as I am with Aweber. But I recommend either one of those two over any of the others. Yeah, Aweber has a lot shorter learning curve, and they have probably the best tutorial videos I've ever seen, and their knowledge base is just unreal. I mean, I guess they've been asked every question under the sun. They got an answer for everything. Let's see what. Okay, that was the questions I received on the class. I've gotten several requests to do lessons and trainings, and this is what how the list is compiling so far. I've got a request to do a lesson on blogging. Then I've got another one on how to demo some of the video softwares that have come out here lately. There've been several of those come out, and one just came out today that was asked about earlier, the Easy Sketch Pro. Like I said, I haven't got to use that one yet. I'm planning on using it here in the next day or two, so maybe I'll get to do a demo of that one too as well. I've gotten a request to do an email relationship follow-up training, and actually that's actually going to be included in on the next class that I'm doing. So if you want to be sure that one gets done, join the next class, because I know that's going to be a part of the next class. And then I've got a request to do a lesson on how to build Facebook likes and Twitter followers and Instagram likes. So I'll try to work all these in. I can't tell you exactly for sure when I'll be doing these, but these are the requests that I've gotten. If you have any other requests that you'd like for me to do, as long as it's something I can demo in about 20-30 minutes. I don't want to take too much time demoing it, but if it's something I can demo in 20-30 minutes time, I'll be glad to add it to the list and get it on the schedule somewhere. Okay, then the last thing here on my slide, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I got this email this past week from Hannah. I like getting these kind of comments. I get some comments like this fairly often, but not as detailed as she is here. She says, I can't believe you give away all this info and don't ask for anything in return. Most webinars I go to, they turn into a buy this, buy that session. Says, I'm so glad I found someone who really believes in helping others instead of always pitching something for sale. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I like to see in emails like it when I get those. Okay, that's the list of questions I had. So if you guys have any questions now, just go ahead and post them in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and turn this presentation off. Well, let's leave it up in case somebody asks a question and I can go back to one of the slides. Everyone wants to know what's the difference between your resale course and the upgrade resale course. Not sure what you're asking there. You talk about my resale rights course compared to somebody else's? Is that what you're asking? I'm not sure what you're asking me here. Thanks, Willie. I'm glad you like it. I try to be straight and honest with everybody, and you guys should know by now I don't promo everything under the sun. The only things that I actually use or know that actually works and will help you is the only thing I'll ever promo. I'm not one of these people that jumps on the bandwagon promoing everything. Oh, okay. You're asking about the extended version of the Easy Passive Sales. It's actually an extended version that goes into the full resale rights business model is what that is. The Easy Passive Sales just shows you how to use just the JVZoo marketplace to get products listed on there with no investment other than what it might cost you to get the rights to sell the products, and I actually show you how to get those for free too as well. But the upgrade sale to that course is it's an extended version of the full resale rights business model. And that brings up another point. I was actually asked another question about the next class. I mentioned that while the class is going on, you'll have an all access pass to my inner circle membership, and that is true. It's a 3-month class. I'm scheduling it for all of June, July, and August. So during June, July, and August, you'll actually have access to the whole inner circle membership for 3 months. So anything that's in there, you'll have access to it. Now, I know a couple of you have logged into your accounts and you're not seeing much in there right now. It's because I haven't got everything squared away yet. I'm still working on setting up permissions and that kind of thing in there. So, but by June the 11th, it will all be set up. But I did get asked that question, though, if you did get access to the rest of the parts of the membership during that class, and you will during that 3 months while the class is going on. And like I said, at the end of that 3 months, if you want to continue on as an all access inner circle member, we'll work out something for you so you can stay on if you want to. Mike says Rick will be advice on what products that work good and junk ones. Yeah, Mike, that's one of the things we'll be going over through the class is which products to, what to look for in products and decide which is, ones that would appeal to because we're going to be building a list in an internet marketing niche. I think I mentioned that before. The list we're going to be building during the class is going to be an internet marketing niche, and we'll be evaluating products and deciding on which is good ones to use and which is not good ones to use. So yeah, there will be product recommendations. Kathy said, do you know anything about DashNext? It's an autoresponder service that the P1 traffic machines are promoting. No, I've not heard of DashNext. No, don't know what. It must be a new one. I've not heard of that one. I didn't get P1 traffic machines, so I couldn't tell you much about that either. That's not one of the things. I don't go in much for these products, that talk about how to trick Google and how to get high page rankings and that type of thing. Because for me personally, this is from my personal experience, that stuff never lasts. I mean, sure, they talk about, how this has been proven with them for years and it's worked for them for their whole lifetime, but it never seems to work out that way for me. It's something that seems like it works for a while and then it quits working. Either Google or Facebook or whoever it is they're getting these rankings with catch on to it, and then they wind up having to change it, and then they got an upsell to fix it. So, that's why I didn't get P1 Traffic Machine. Do you do SEO? Very little. I do very little SEO anymore. I used to play the SEO game when I was trying to get AdSense money, when I was trying to earn income with AdSense, and I did really well with it. But SEO is a constant changing thing, and it's really, you could spend, like Roy was talking about, 30, 40 hours a week just studying SEO, not getting anything done, just studying it. So, I just got tired of, having to constantly tweak this, change that, just so you could stay in the SEO rankings. And, I try to make, pages that the search engines are going to like. It's what my basic goal in SEO now. I don't want to put up something, that's scraped or conglomerated, that's just for robots and indexing. I want to put up something, that people will actually read, which is what the search engines want, is something that's human readable, that's good quality content. But that's about as far as I go with it. I'll do the basic SEO, and then I'll do some minor backlinking, and that's about it. Yeah, Kathy, I went through that whole sales pitch, and they talked about building those silo sites. And the whole thing about those silo sites, I mean, they used to call it breadcrumb. It's what they called it 2 years ago, was creating breadcrumb trails. And, I just couldn't see the difference in it. If you got Excite Pro, it does the same thing. Excite Pro creates breadcrumb trails. Now, it doesn't generate them on the fly like that software he has does, but it does the exact same thing of what they're calling a silo site. So, I couldn't see the advantage over Excite Pro with it. Where you're asking, are we going to build a list in the IM niche? I've been trying to stick with list building. Yeah, Roy, the list we're going to be building in the class will be primarily internet marketing niche. Now, like I said in the questions last week, the principles can apply to any niche, but the list we'll be building in the class will be, an internet marketing based niche list. So, but like I said, the principles will apply to any niche that you want to list build with. Mike says, do you have good solo ad providers? Yeah, I got a great list of solo providers that I work with, people that I've bought from that I know send real traffic. When you pay for a solo ad, you're going to get what you paid for. So yeah, I have a definite recommended list for that. Make your pages people friendly, not search engine friendly. Google can shut you down overnight. Exactly. That's what I found out, though. I don't know if y'all remember the story I told about my first niche website I ever built. I was actually going through a niche building course, I guess is what you would call it. It wasn't really a mentoring. It was some sort of a course on building niche websites. And the first one I built was a do-it-yourself natural health blog. And the reason why I even built the thing is I was watching a Kevin Trudeau infomercial, and it just appealed to me, the natural cures and herbs type of thing just appealed to me. So I was going through that class, so I just decided to build a blog on that. And I don't know, the articles and everything I was putting on there was all human friendly, it was good readable content, and it lasted for 6 years. I was making, fairly decent AdSense money with it, but then just all of a sudden Google decided they didn't like it and de-indexed it, and next thing I knew, the traffic dropped to zero, and then the AdSense, of course, the AdSense account got banned because they said it was a built for AdSense website. So that's about the time I gave up on SEO, is when that happened. Kathy says, I was trying to take advantage of the quickly made website, not trying to fool Google. I haven't used it yet, so not sure how good the sites it builds are. Well, Kathy, going through like I said, I went through the guy's webinar before he launched it. Then I watched all those videos, that came out, while it was on sale, and it looks great. It's like I said, I have no doubt that it don't build good websites. It's just that the whole premise behind it, is building those silo sites in order to get indexed in the search engines faster. And like I said, I couldn't see any advantage over Excite Pro, which does the exact same thing, except it's not automated. Excite Pro is not automated. I mean, it'll build those breadcrumbs, what he calls silo links. It'll do that, but it's not automated to where it does it on the fly like he shows in his videos. But I have no doubt that it don't build good sites. I'm sure it probably does. I mean, you could probably mess it up somehow. I'm sure. I mean, there's lots of ways to mess up a lot, things and not even know you're doing it. But I'm sure from watching that webinar and watching them videos, I'm sure it probably does build good websites. I just couldn't see the advantage in it over something that I already had. What budget should we allot for this project, start to finish? Well, initially it's going to be, you won't have to have much money at all for the first month or two. Along about the third month or so, you're going to want to start, investing in, some sort of advertising to keep your campaigns going, to keep your replenishing your list. Because, like I said, depending on which model you go with the marketing in your emails, you'll either see people drop off quickly or slowly. But regardless, there are going to be people dropping off, and you're going to replenish that list. So you will have to set a monthly budget of some sort to work with. But hopefully, you're making some money that you can reinvest back into it. I spend an average of $200 to $300 a month on advertising. That's about my average in solo ads and banner ads and the other traffic methods. $200 to $300 a month is what I allot for it. And of course, I don't take that money out of my own pocket. I get it out of the marketing that I do through the emails and the product launches. That's one thing I want you to keep in mind. Even though you might be investing money, it should be money that you've already made that you're investing back into yourself. Kathy says, do you think I can tweak the site and build good SEO links? I hope you can. Like I said, I didn't buy a P1 Traffic Machine, so I can't tell you for sure exactly how well it works as compared to what he was doing in his videos. Of course, he's 100% familiar with his product and knows exactly what to do with it. But, from what it showed in that webinar and the videos, it looked like it creates good sites. It's just like any other piece of software. You're going to have to get used to it and find out how to tweak it and use it. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some things you can do to it that's not going to create a nice page, but then maybe something you could change in it to make it turn out a little nicer, more human friendly. But once you get used to it, it's just with any software that you get when you first start using, you're not sure what to do with it, and you may turn out something is not as good quality as what you wanted. But after you keep working with, you'll get to where you produce better and better quality with. That's about the way it is with any software that you work with. Kay says, has the guy who has Excite Pro been able to sell his business yet? I'm not sure that that Intellimon was selling their business. I hadn't heard that they were selling it. I know they've got several products out. Xheader is another one that they have out that I use a lot. I wasn't aware that they were trying to sell it. Kathy says, thanks for answering all my questions. Didn't mean to keep you on that topic. That's okay, Kathy. That's what we're here for tonight. If I know anything about the software or techniques, I'm more than willing to help you as much as I can. I just don't have any personal experience with P1 Traffic Machine, so I can't tell you definite for sure what it will and won't do. Just what I've seen, like I said, it compares to Excite Pro, so that's about the only assumption I can give you is it's like another piece of software that I have. This is Mike says this is great. Will these be WordPress friendly? Not exactly what you're sure will be WordPress friendly, Mike. I guess you're talking about the website that you're going to be selling the products from. Will it be a WordPress based website? Kay says he was really sick. He didn't want to and had been looking for someone who thought of it like he does. Okay, I wasn't aware of that, Kay, that the owner of Intellimon was sick and considering selling his website. I wish I had the money to buy it because it is great software. I've used the Excite Pro since it came out, version 1.5 I think is when I bought it. Dana says, are there cheaper ways to monetize videos other than Simple Video Pro? Have you heard of it? I actually have Simple Video Pro and I like it, but I like Custom Video Player better. And the only reason I like Custom Video Player better is, well, two reasons actually. One, it's easier to put it on a static HTML page than Simple Video Pro is. Simple Video Pro is set up mainly to use in WordPress sites, which is fine, if it's all you deal with is WordPress sites. But Custom Video Player also, like I said, gives you code sharing code like you'd see on YouTube that you could put on static HTML web pages. But it does have its own flaws too. So I'm not saying it's perfect either, but Simple Video Pro is a good plugin. I do have it, and I've used it several times on some of my websites. Mike saying yes, and that was to my question about WordPress sites. WordPress is the easiest website to set up, so probably that's what I'll be recommending everybody to set up as a WordPress website, since they are the easiest to use. And there's just so many plugins that you can use for them that are free to do most anything with WordPress. If you know how to do HTML, I recommend doing static HTML pages as well, because you can integrate those in with WordPress. But probably to set up the website to be selling your products from, we probably will set up a WordPress site for that. Roy says 11th is too long to wait. I want to start building a list tomorrow. Okay. Well, Roy, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait, buddy. I got one more class to go this week in the current class that I'm doing, and then, like I said, it's going to start the very next week. I'm not even taking a break. I normally would take a couple-week break in between major trainings and classes like this, but I'm not even taking a break, so you're going to have to wait till the 11th. Sorry. Deb says, was on a Simple Video Pro sponsored webinar today. They said SCV works with all platforms, not just WordPress. Yeah, they do have versions of it that work with all platforms, but the main program is a WordPress plugin. But they do have versions of it that will work with static HTML sites too, and with Joomla. I think they have a Joomla version now. But while I'm thinking about it, let me post the link in here for you guys in case you haven't been to the info about the new class yet. Okay, there's the link to the page. It gives more detail on the 11-minute video. Yes, it's just 11 minutes, Kay. But anyway, that gives you the full details on the classes coming up on the 11th in case you weren't here last week or hadn't watched last week's replay yet. Okay, well, we're running right at an hour now. Do y'all have any other questions on anything that went over tonight or anything else that you thought of while we're on the call tonight? Now's the time to ask them. Okay, Willie, yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the class. It should be a good class. This last one has done really well. I know 3 or 4 people have built some really great websites out of this last class, so this next class should be even better since we're all going to be interacting with each other. This last class I didn't have it set up to where we could interact other than the Skype room that I'd set up. But this next class we're going to have several methods for people to be able to work with each other because it's going to be important that we work with each other during this next class. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, let's go ahead and call it a night for tonight, and I'll get this replay rendered for you guys and hopefully up and available tomorrow evening sometime. And I'm actually working on another gift for you guys. I didn't get it ready. I worked on it some Saturday and a little bit yesterday, but I didn't get it completed yet. So when I get that done, hopefully I'll have it done here in the next few hours. I'll work on it some more tonight and some more in the morning, but hopefully if I get that ready, I'll post a link to that too under the replay. It actually goes into a little bit more about the WSO that we talked about earlier when the first questions that I got. So I think it ought to be interesting for you guys too. And like I said, I'll post it, and when I get that ready, I'll post a link to it down under the replay. But with that said, let's go ahead and call it a night. I want to thank you guys for coming tonight. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can either email me or use the form. It'll be at the bottom of the replay. Just send your questions in on that form. Or if you have my Skype ID, which is, here's my Skype ID, just add me to your Skype and you can ask me questions there. If you have any requests, like I said, you can use the form for that or email as well for that as well. But thanks again for coming tonight, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Good night, everybody.